Hello, everyone. We are back. It's Monday at Romantic Propaganda. I am film director extraordinaire Imani Shakur.
And I am Devon Hewett, author of Romantic Propaganda.
The magnificent author of Romantic Propaganda.
Extraordinary.
To which the
And
podcast,
the chivalrous film director.
and our podcast is inspired by Devon's book, Romantic Propaganda, of the same name. If you've been following us, you already know all that. I just want to take a moment again, because we don't do it a lot, to thank all of our listeners, and hopefully YouTube won't get mad and everyone won't get mad, but thank all our listeners on all the podcast streaming platforms, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, all the podcast apps, all of them. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
And you know what? We're going to actually start doing giveaways soon.
Absolutely.
So tune in. Continue to tune in and win yourself a little prize.
Yeah, exactly. And I also want to start a new segment, like at the end of every show, just some fun stuff called Dating Tales.
Okay.
To kind of just share with our listeners like dating experiences, things that have happened like a week or two before we filmed the episode and stuff like that. Because there's always fun stuff I hear about that's going on that I want to just share with our audience. So maybe this episode at the end we'll do Dating Tales, just like a couple of minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. That's a good idea.
On and just share a couple of fun stories and stuff. So yeah, man. We are broadcasting the truth and exposing the lies. Don't forget to subscribe. Everything is going to be in the description. Email us at rptalktruth@gmail.com for any questions. On Twitter, we're at Romantic Propaganda. Please follow and support and all that good stuff. And Devon is going first, but I'm going to let you guys know my topic first, and it is: should we date our friends' exes?
Ooh. That's a deep one.
That's the question I have.
I don't know.
I have a lot to say about
Does it
that.
depend? Ooh.
Yeah, should we date our friends' exes? And Devon's going to talk about what?
Well, since you brought up friendship, I think I'm going to talk about friendship. About friends can be lovers, but lovers cannot be friends. And we're going to talk about that.
Wow.
We'll get started.
That's interesting. So Devon's jumping off, so let's see what...
So let's talk about this. So friends can be lovers.
Yeah.
But lovers cannot be friends. So let's take the first part. Friends can be lovers. That's very true. Some of the best relationships are founded on friendship. And even if it's not founded on friendship, relationship, let's say you meet someone at a bar, it becomes a relationship, it still has to be founded on some type of friendship.
Right.
And what friends do is they trust each other. They reveal secrets. They don't hide nothing from each other.
That's true.
Friends are always honest. Friends are always watching each other's backs. And when that friendship establishes into a relationship, I feel it makes a relationship much better because you know the person. And knowing the person is beneficial for a successful relationship. Mm-hmm. Some of my best friends, have been women and never reached the point of relationship. Well, with the exception of one. But what would make the relationship work is because I already know this person, right? I've known her for 10 years. If I decide to date or marry her, I know more about her than I would do what I would know if I only known her for a year, 6 months or a year, because I met her at the bar.
Right.
So I would encourage men and women, if you're looking for something founded and successful with a marriage or relationship, whatever your goals are, try looking at your friends and see how they could play into your life with that. So yeah, I don't think we have to explain much about how friends can be lovers. I want to talk about how and why lovers cannot be friends.
Wow. I want to hear this one.
And it has to do with, the relationship itself. The relationship changes the nature of the friendship. So you have a guy and a girl who are friends, and we're not talking about friends with benefits or even then.
Right.
Relationship changes the nature because now your lives are in coordination with each other. Mm-hmm. They're in cooperation with each other. It's not like you're going this way, she's going that way, and you guys are friends. You might have sex or you might go see a movie or whatever, but you're not committed to each other. Mm-hmm. When you're in a committed, monogamous relationship with someone, you should be going the same way. You should be going the same direction, which is which is why we talked about a few episodes ago why the woman should give birth and need to plant the seed, because if you guys are going one direction, it helps, guys. But since you guys are going the same direction, the relationship changes the nature of the friendship. You guys are having sex. You guys are spending money on each other. You guys are telling each other's secrets, or each other's secrets. Once you break up, the breakup changes that nature. It changes that lives you guys once shared. Maybe you're living together. Mm-hmm. Maybe you guys are sharing cars. Maybe you guys are sharing bank accounts. Once you break up, it changes that nature. Once that relationship and that nature changes, and at different levels, you break up Monday, it doesn't guarantee the man is over it by Tuesday. It doesn't guarantee she's over it in 6 months.
Right.
Once that relationship has changed, the nature has changed, all that is out the window, and you guys are now both here instead of here. So when you try to become friends, you're carrying that baggage of what used to be. And suppose he's not over it, she's not over it. Carrying that baggage like a backpack in the friendship after the breakup, it can lead to disaster, considering when you guys were friends, you shared secrets. But now you guys are friends with a changed nature. Suppose he's not over it and he learns that she is now dating his friend, or slept with his friend, or suppose he finds out she's in a new relationship. It might cause problems between the two and to the circle of friends involved. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not only that, being friends after a relationship might be a level of disrespect for what the person stands for. A person might stand for, I'm going this way. I don't want anything to be deterred from that. Being in a relationship, about friendship after a breakup might cause a distraction. It might damage the man's peace. It might damage her peace because they still care. And because they still care, that peace is destroyed, and that peace now becomes a wall. That lack of peace becomes a wall from them going to where they want to go.
Right.
And I don't feel that you can be just friends with someone you truly loved. If there is no love there in the relationship, it's possible to be friends. But when there's an intimate love, especially with men who are territorial, who don't like to share what they have with another man, once he finds out that his prized gem has now been shared, another man has been entered, being friends is hard.
Yeah.
And it causes a wall in which the friendship can never be the same because of the relationship. Yeah. It just can't be the same. It just can't. And if you disagree with me, and I think it's because you've never experienced having someone that you care so much for, you want no one else to experience that joy.
Yeah.
With that person.
So interesting. It's so true though.
Yeah, once you experience that, you can't be friends, because now you're going to see someone else enjoying what you want, what your vision is destroyed. And especially with men, we don't want to know another man is entering something that we prized so much.
Right.
And then she's going to be able to tell us that story. Right. And we got to just sit there, or maybe be invited to the wedding someday and have to see. Right. It's just not been. So that's what I feel. He may not agree, but I'll let him.
Yeah, let me give you my whole spiel on it. I actually absolutely agree, and I can share some experiences. And it's just funny how when you say certain things and bring certain things up, how it just sparks. And it kind of, you know what I'm saying? It kind of takes you back to situations that you could share with the audience and stuff. But yeah, man. I mean, let's take this one woman I dated when I first moved to wine country. She was separating from her husband, and we started dating, and we were really good friends, and lovers. And she told me I knew more about her than her own husband she'd been with for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you're absolutely right. And, we ended up getting to that point to where we loved each other and stuff. And when we broke up, that was it. Like, we couldn't be friends anymore. Right. But when we were friends, though, we could be lovers. Right. She would go to Old Town. Yeah. She would dance with other. I didn't even care. Right. I was just like, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right, you're friends.
Yeah, we were friends, but the minute it flipped,
Right.
and we broke up, or whatever it was that we had, we couldn't be friends anymore.
Right.
We couldn't be friends anymore for every single reason that you just explained. For every reason you just explained is why we couldn't be friends anymore.
Right.
And it's so true, man. You can kind of like be chill, and the reason why I'm smiling is because it just takes me back to so many relationships. You know what I'm saying?
It's all right, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm thinking about one.
Because you can totally chill with a woman and be her friend and be sleeping with her and it be cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of confusing if you don't watch it. But lovers can't be friends.
Yeah, we're talking about lovers.
Lovers.
Not friends with benefits that sleep.
People
Lovers.
that are in love
Right.
can't be friends. Just to make it more simple. You know what I'm saying? In other words, why friends can have sex, but people that are in love can't be friends.
Right. It's a difference.
Just to make it more plain.
It's a difference. Yeah.
Because and it's funny you like brought up my most recent ex. You're absolutely right. I couldn't be at a bar chilling with her and see her kissing her new guy and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to see that.
You just taking it.
Because we were in love. So I can't.
Yeah, like it's cool.
And you know what's funny? She actually told me that.
Yeah.
Because she said, before we broke up, she goes, because I noticed that she was friends with her ex. And I said, well, how can you be friends with him? But you're telling me if we break up, you're going to cut me from all social media and everything. And she's still friends with all of our friends on social media. Mm-hmm. But she blocked me from everything. You know what she told me? She said, because I truly loved you and I'm in love with you. So I don't want to see what you're doing after this. So I'm going to cut you off.
Right.
That's why I didn't cut him off.
It's painful.
Because I didn't love him the same. That's what she told me.
That's deep.
So you hit it on it. Because I said, you're friends with him on Facebook.
What's the difference?
And you guys are broken up.
Right.
She said, no, but I didn't love him the way I love you.
Oh, that's painful.
So because I love you a certain way, I'm not going to be able to do it. Mm-hmm. And when we broke up, that's exactly what happened. She cut me from everything. And it wasn't malicious. She explained to me before, I just don't want to see you.
It's necessary.
After that. Like, I can't see it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, why I got to be like that, D? why can't we just be in love and still be cool? And
because
just watch each other be okay. And you know what I mean?
It's actually a what do you call it? A courtesy to you. Because you too don't want to see her next week with some dude. Because then you're going to be like, wait a minute, we were together all this time.
A month later.
Yeah, we were with this guy all this time.
Yeah,
I was with you all this time, and now all of a sudden you with someone else?
But I'm not, yeah.
What am I? You don't want to see that.
Yeah.
And this is what I think too, is when you love someone and they love you back, you learn more about them than you would have as a friend. You like, I think sex and love is very spiritual.
Yeah.
And that bond you have, you know their demons, you know their darkness, you know their scars. You know, they might be standing naked in front of you and you know they're insecure and you accept them anyway. There's a trust there. You know what I'm saying? There's something there. And once that's gone, you can't just pretend that never happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Now I have a question. Is it possible to have both though? Is it possible?
To have both?
Like, for instance, is it possible to like be in love with that person and you guys were lovers and you could be friends afterwards? Is it possible? Can some people do that? That's what I want to know.
I think I was in this situation.
Yeah.
I had a best friend. She might see this. I don't care. I had a best friend. I've known her for 10 years. Mm-hmm. We tried to make it work with a relationship.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. She said, let's just be friends. But when we were at the table with people and I'm eating food and I look and I see her staring at me across her eyes, the power of her eyes, which I fell in love with, I couldn't see those eyes as a friendship anymore. Because her eyes spoke to me and she communicated to me through her eyes. So when I would see her eyes staring at me from across the room, it would make me uncomfortable. Is it a friendship look or is it more? Is there a hope? So then when you're friends, one person might have a hope, maybe it can start again. And if that person has no intentions, it's not fair. because now this person has no absolute closure because of the friendship.
Yeah.
And I think with you and in my past, when you cut them off completely, there's that closure of, okay, at least there's no hope, I can move on.
Right.
But when you're friends, like getting a drink, getting dinner, hanging out, dancing, in the back of one of the other person's mind is, I used to sleep with her, I used to do this, I used to do that. Could it happen again?
Yeah.
And then if someone good comes your way, you may be reluctant to start because you're in the back of your mind, you're like, well, I'm still friends with so-and-so that I love. Mm-hmm. If I'm still friends with them, maybe it can grow again. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tell this person no, because I'm hoping for this person when this is the person right for you.
Right.
And I think for the clarity of it all, I just think they should just not be friends at all.
Yeah. And it's funny, having a child changes the dynamics of it, because then you're forced to see what's going on. Yeah, because you have a child and you're co-parenting.
Right.
If you're co-parenting the right way, that person you're in love with, that you guys had a child with or whatever, even if you weren't in love with them, you're forced to face it, to see all that stuff we're talking about that you don't have to see if you don't have any other tie, like a child. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So in those cases, like, you're actually forced to still see it, engage, and stuff like that. And to me, that child is the only thing that can change that dynamic and make it possible. Because even if I look at me and my daughter's mom, my ex-wife, I was helping her on with a Bumble the other day. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She was showing me all these good-looking guys, and I was with my daughter, and she went on a meet and greet. And, you know what I'm saying? But I'm forced to, we're like forced to be friends. Because of my daughter.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But to me, that's the only thing that can change that dynamic. Other than that, though, you got to cut it off.
You have to. If there's love.
If there was love.
Yeah.
And that's such an interesting thing, man.
Well,
when you just point at these things we talk about on this podcast, it just really makes you put attention on it and go, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? It puts it in front of your face.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. Oh, that's so true. That's crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was in love with a girl while back, not recently. Mm-hmm. While back. And I would have dreams about her after the breakup. I would have dreams that we were dancing, or we were with friends. Yeah. And to wake up and realize she wasn't there romantically. Mm-hmm. And then to go pretend and be friends and pretend that dream didn't happen. Because I can't tell her that. Right. That created an ache in my chest that was uncomfortable. Yeah. I couldn't bear it. Mm-hmm. And to sit there and act like you don't have those feelings, how can you be a genuine person? Right. It's a disservice. Right. That's why I say it's better to just not be friends. Yeah. And if you disagree, you disagree until you reach that point where you don't want someone else to share your vision. Mm-hmm. And I think men, when we love a woman, she becomes part of so much. Yeah. Like this book alone, a lot of it contains material from that experience. Right. And if I didn't have that experience, this book wouldn't be born. Right. So it's more than just friendship and love. It's everything else involved. Right. So
now, it's funny, as I sit here, I'm trying to think of times that I had a love relationship with someone and we're still friends, and I can't think of one. Yeah. I can't think of one, bro. Like, you're absolutely right. But I have a lot of lady friends that I've been intimate with. We're still cool to this day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because friends, let me go back to your topic, because friends can be lovers. We can.
We can.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a spin on that word lovers, too.
It's crazy. Like, with one of my friends in New York, D, and D probably listens. She's so cool. I could hit D up and I could say, D, come to summer, let's hang out. And me and D could have sex every day and be super cool and just still be cool. Yep. You know what I mean?
And she can tell you about a dude.
And she's fly as hell, too.
She can tell you about a bad date she had. Yeah. You don't care. I mean,
great person. Someone I would actually take seriously, but we're just cool. Right. Great person, though. Anyone else would be like, man, why aren't y'all together? But we're just cool. You know what I mean?
And sometimes it's better to be cool with her like that than to be in a relationship. Because then you lose that.
So true. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say, why don't you date her? Well, if I cross that bridge, it changes the nature of what you have now. Right. Which is why you can't do it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good one,
Man, it's deep.
I'm
I'm getting kind of emotional. Let's move on, man.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
I'm getting having bad thoughts.
So my topic kind of relates to what we're talking about now, but mine, like I said at the top of the podcast, is should we date our friends' ex? and this is a good one.
That's cool. I mean, go ahead.
No, it's so funny because, and what made me think of this, I forgot where I was recently, but something happened with some friends of mine that made me think of this. And I was like, yeah, should you date your friend's ex? That's an interesting one. Before I get into it, I would like to actually share a good story though, because and I'm not going to say names and this, that, and the other, but there are a couple of movie producers that I know. And this had to be maybe 25 years ago. They actually switched. Let me explain what I mean. They both were married, and when they, I guess they hadn't seen each other in a long time or whatever and stuff like that, and they planned a trip, and they got together, and when the couples met, they both realized that each friend was with each other's soulmate, and they switched. And they got divorced and married each other's
This is like a movie,
friends.
man.
And they've been married now for 20-something years.
Wow, it's
Now, see, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, I haven't seen you in 10 years. You come up from Miami. I grew up in Miami most of my life. D, let's get together. And you bring your wife. Yeah, I'm married, man. Been married a couple of years or a year.
and
or
you
whatever.
bring yours.
You bring yours. And we meet. And the women go, that's my husband. And you go, Monty, that's my wife, man.
Right.
And we're like, what? And everybody talk about it, and we switch, get a divorce, and remarry, and they're all still married to this day.
So I marry your girl, you marry mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and if you have any type of spirituality about you, in that situation, those people met who they thought were their soulmates to meet their soulmates. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a
because the relationship gods knew that that's how they would actually meet their true soulmate.
right, through like a channel.
Yeah.
Like, they were like a channel.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's great that all the subjects involved had the insight, and they went with it and didn't go, well, how are you gonna marry my wife? How are you gonna marry my husband? And this, that, and the other.
Right.
Anyway, just wanted to tell that cool story before I really got into it. And that was a situation where friends went to the ultimate level and ended up with each other's friends.
And they married them.
And it actually lasted and sustained itself. And see, this is a question I have to pose to our audience, right? If I was with someone and me and her break up a year, 2 years, 3 years later, 3 months later, right? And she meets Devon. And I know Devon's a great guy, and he's cool, and I like him as a person, and I know he's gonna treat her right. What is wrong with him dating my ex? I'm actually posing the question.
Right.
You know, and some people may say, oh, there's so many women out there, so many guys. Why does he ever date your ex? Why can't she find someone else? Why can't he go with someone else? Some people may say that. But the question I'm posing for our audience and for you is, why can't you date my ex if you're a good guy and you guys find each other attractive, and we were just together, now it's over?
Right.
Why not? What's the problem?
That's what
I want to know.
There's a lot of things.
I'm gonna let you answer that question. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, so let's say.
What's the problem?
Okay. I think it's only a problem if
Okay.
guy dates girl, they break up. Let's say 6 months later, guy's best friend, who's a male, dates his ex.
Mm-hmm.
But did she know about him during the relationship? Did she know about the friend when she was with the guy? Like, were they in a circle?
I don't think it matters.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. I think it's a problem if there was no change to the man's character or personality during the time. Mm-hmm. Because it's almost like if he grew as a better person and she sees something new about him that she found attractive now, I think it's okay. I think if he's the same person 6 months or 3 months, that means kind of like she found him attractive all along and would have dated him if her boyfriend wasn't there. If I'm making sense. I'm thinking that it's okay if there's a change in the relationship of all three. You know, if he's no longer in love or she's no longer in love with him, you know, and they're separate individuals and they've moved on and everybody has a different stance than when they were 3 years ago. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. You know, I don't think it's okay if he's still in love with her. It could create problems.
Because my whole thing is, if she's gonna go out and date a stranger, why can't she date you?
Because I'm not a stranger,
and I'm only.
So let me ask you
using you because we're together.
So let me ask you this. So let's say I date your ex.
Okay. And I'm not saying I'm okay with this one or the other. I'm just posing a question.
So I date his ex. He knows. I know. He knows. I know. He knows. And I come over like right now. I'm chilling. So yeah, hey Devon. Let's say her name was Brenda. And you're like, hey Devon. So ask me, hey Devon, how was your weekend? Say it.
Hey Devon, how was your weekend?
You know, me and Brenda went out and went to Hawaii. Got a hotel. We stayed up all night. You know.
Okay.
And we. Huh?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, we had some sex, and you know, I had to take her to the doctor because you know she might be pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But it was good.
Right.
It was real good.
It
was real good.
Here's the catch. If you are doing that, you gotta go to your friend and go, hey man, you know, what do you think about me and or she can actually do it. Say, hey, what she can come to me, hey, what do you think about me and Devon dating? I've always thought he was cool. He's a great guy. Me and you are done. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bad breakup. It's so many variables to it.
Yeah, if it wasn't a bad breakup.
If it wasn't a bad breakup.
Right.
Because if it was a bad breakup, your friend would be like, dude, you know she did me wrong. Like, what?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So let's just say it wasn't a bad breakup.
Right.
And going back to what we talked about before, can lovers be friends and stuff like that? And we were able to just be cool. You know, and she comes to me and says, hey, I want to be respectful and come to you first, but I'm thinking about, you know, asking Devon out or something, or seeing if there's interest there. I think he's cool. Me and you are done. We're still cool. He's your friend. I'd rather talk to him than some stranger. How do you feel about that? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Now, and vice versa. You could come and say, hey, man, you know, Brenda, I think she's kind of feeling me, man. But before I say anything, I wanted to see how you felt about it. To me, if the guy goes, man, go ahead, brother, I don't mind. More power. But
right.
If the guy goes, man, honestly, it'll be a little uncomfortable. Even though we broke up on good terms, seeing her around all the time and seeing you guys around, I'm right there. It'll just be a little weird. There's so much more fish in the sea.
Right.
Why catch that one?
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Right. And also, if there's a group of friends, that can change the whole circle.
Man.
Like, can I invite you? Oh, I don't want to invite him because he dated her. You know what I'm saying? And now you can't go. And now the friends, hey, where's Imani? Oh, well, I didn't invite him because I'm with his ex.
Yep.
And they'd be like, why? Well, that's stupid. And then there's a problem. Everybody's drinking, and
I was in a car club years ago, and I ended up dating one of my friends' exes in the car club, and I was the exec vice president of the car club, and it caused a lot of drama. But I mean, we ended up being cool years later, and we just knew it was meant for us to like be together. It happened twice actually. In my car club, and one of the car clubs that we used to go on cruises with, one of my friends in the other car club, me and his girl ended up getting together too. And I mean, it
also depends how fine she is too.
It was a little uncomfortable, but everybody got along.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, I think Imani's cool. We're not together. Like, what's the problem? He's in the other car club. I know you guys know each other, but I like him. You know what I mean?
And it depends on the time span. You know what I mean? If I dated her 5 years,
I was much younger. But
if I dated her 10 years ago, 5 years ago, yeah, I should be over it. But you know, if
yeah, man, that's a tough one.
But what if I dated her and I wasn't really into it? You know, I'm just with her for 6 months, but I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
You know, the difference if it's someone he loved and proposed to, and went through hell and back after the breakup, it might be a little disrespectful.
That's a
to just
tough
waltz
one.
in there and take his ex when you know he
Yeah.
still cares. It's
Yeah, and a lot of times, girls, as catty as they are, they'll end up having sex with their best friend's man.
yeah.
You know, and I think guys do it too, Devon, but I think guys do it much less. More times than not. Because I think with men, there's a level of like respect and honor there.
Right.
That isn't there with that competitive nature that women
Yeah,
kind of
very competitive.
Because I've heard too many times about the woman sleeping with her friend's man.
Because it makes
You know
her feel
what?
on top.
You know what I'm saying? But men, we don't really vibe like that.
Yeah.
And if we gonna say it, we're like, man, I ain't touching your girl, dude. Like,
Yeah.
if-
We might find her attractive.
We might find her attractive,
and be like,
but,
I
but
would,
we
but-
ain't gonna go behind the back and do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think with us, we have a little more respect and honor and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I think it happens far more less than women doing it.
Mm-hmm.
With women, I hear it all the time.
Women use sex as an instrument.
I mean, it was just on the news with Tristan Thomas and Chloe and the girl Jordan.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
And Jordan said she didn't sleep with him, but everyone at the party said she had her legs on him and stuff like that. That was Chloe's man. You know what I mean? So I'm saying I hear about it all the time with women. And that's another aspect. The quick, I'm gonna sleep with your man behind your back and everybody goes on like nothing happened. In some cases, they continually do it too behind the friend's back.
Right.
Then they stop and move on like nothing ever happened.
Right.
And then the best friend finds out 10 years later, I found out you slept with my man 5 years ago a few times. When were you gonna tell me about this? You know what I'm trying to say? But so I'm kind of wanting to touch on both. Like, that's definitely not okay because that's deceitful,
It's betrayal.
lying, betrayal, no loyalty. But if everything is broken up, can you? Should you? I mean, on the one hand, I'm like, maybe you can. I mean, okay, let me just
It depends.
answer the question. Let me just answer the question for myself. All right, guys, for me, yes and no. Maybe you can. If the circumstances are correct and it's clean and there's no hurt feelings and stuff involved and it's clean and everybody involved is okay with it, maybe. I'm not even saying yes. I'm saying maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's a big maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Because in some cases, like those movie producers, it worked. You know what I mean? Maybe.
It depends on the level of intimacy.
Maybe. And,
you know?
and you want to know what else I would like to actually add to this? Sometimes you can be in a situation where, say you were married and you have a kid and the kid is 10 years old. And your ex-wife, you guys are co-parenting, you're great friends right now, and your ex-wife brings a friend along who's having trouble dating. And she finds you attractive, and you could tell she's giving you IOIs all day.
It's my ex-wife's friend?
Yes, IOIs are indicators of interest. What's wrong with that friend going, hey, you and Devon broke up 9 years ago, Lil Jamal is 10. I mean, you guys are great co-parents. I'm single. You were dating and stuff. Would you mind if I hung out with him? Like, what's wrong with that? but you know what I mean, though.
Right.
And sometimes in those situations, it may be meant for you to be with that person or date that person. You know what I mean? So to me, like I said, I don't mean to cut you. It just depends on the circumstance, D, and if everything is clean. Go ahead.
No, it's almost like
Something.
it's like if my ex dated one of my friends, I would be what does he have that I don't have? You know what I mean? Like, but don't be surprised if your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend does find one of your friends attractive because you guys are friends for a reason. You guys share the same qualities,
Right.
personality. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You might have the same interests. So if she's interested in you, who's to say she won't be interested in your friends?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she may not say it, but in the back of her mind, she might be thinking about hooking up with you anyway or after or whatever. It's really out of your control. But it's also like, you know, if I dump this girl and then her friend wants to date me, she might think, well, what is it about her that I don't have that Devon likes? Then, you know what I mean? It might cause problems with their friendship. Mm-hmm. She might be envious, you know?
Yeah.
She might be like, why would you even date my ex? And another thing, too, is women have a way of saving face. Mm-hmm. If there's a breakup, they always have a way of making the man be the culprit.
Right.
He yelled at me. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. If she's saying all that to her girlfriend and then she dates him, she's gonna be like, "Why are you dating that slumbag?"
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Why are you siding with the enemy?
Right.
Why do you feel
if it's bad?
If it's bad,
that's why I said
it's crazy, man.
On the circumstance.
Right.
Because sometimes it could actually work.
It's not even like that. What if you found out your friend slept with your mother or your father? Mm-hmm. What if can your parents date one of your friends? You know, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that actually takes it even deeper.
There's some deep issues in there. Yeah, there's some
deeper. So I mean, for me, just to like sum it up, I don't know if you should. And if the circumstances, once again, if the circumstances are correct and everything is clean, maybe, or maybe not. You know what I mean?
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin.
Yeah, flip a coin.
Every situation is different, man.
I know for a fact, if one of my friends dated a particular woman, I would be very upset, even though I'm not with her anymore.
Oh, okay. See,
I would be very upset.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What if, let's say I met this woman. I don't know who he's.
Oh, I'd be very upset.
Let's say I just happened to meet this woman at the gas station when I was in LA seeing Layla.
Okay.
And you never come up, I never come up, whatever to her, and you come over to shoot the podcast with me, and she's here. And we had no clue. Now this is a good question, audience. Should me and her just like break up and we had no idea of Devon's connection? You know what I'm saying?
That's drama.
That's why I said this is an interesting question.
It'd be so uncomfortable.
And look, and we like dated for a month. It's going amazing, and we're vibing, and all of a sudden, and I don't even mention it to you for whatever reason, and all of a sudden we come and she's here. Should we just go, oh, you guys had a relationship, so now me and her should just cut it? And we had no idea. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. It's one thing to go, this is her, and I see her at the gas station and go, oh no, that's Devon's ex. He told me about her. And even though I see an energy and a chemistry there, I just say, oh no.
It'll cause a problem in your relationship.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's different if I know. But and the same thing. What if it's just vice versa and you didn't know and you bring in one of my exes and I go, oh man, honestly, for me, I'd be like, dude, you had no idea. It's all good.
No, but then what if you still care?
Hopefully she'll be okay.
What if you?
But it doesn't matter if I still care or not.
So
she isn't responsible for how I feel.
So if I say
I'm responsible for that.
So if I say, hey, you should come join me and so at the winery, and you still care,
yeah, I would.
You still love her,
yeah, because you guys aren't responsible for how I feel.
No, I think you're still in the vicinity of her. I think I wouldn't go.
And again, once again, I'm not saying a month after you guys broke up. This is obviously time way after. This isn't obviously like a month. You know, this is way after. If it's something that early, that's different. She probably won't be out dating that quick anyway. Hopefully, but you know what I'm saying. I'm saying
it depends.
Yeah, I'm just saying this is. A year later, I happen to run into your ex in question, and she ends up here, and we had no clue. You know what I'm saying? For me, I wouldn't expect you to not be with that person. You know what I mean? I'd be like, dude, you had no idea, dude. That was a year ago. Y'all met not even knowing about me. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If y'all vibe, I'll be cool with it. I'd be like, I tell you, this is a good guy, actually. I'd be cool with it. So, you know, to wrap it up, I'm just simply saying, like I said before, yes and no. It depends on the circumstance and the story and how it happened, when, what, why. That's all I'm gonna answer the question.
Yeah.
You
so
know what I mean?
It depends. That's my answer. It just depends.
All right, cool.
But yeah, it depends, guys.
That's our episode, guys. But before we go, I want to bring up a quick dating tale. I said we're gonna do this new segment. So one of our friends that works at one of the wineries, Wilson Creek, really good looking guy, no homo, but the women are always all over him and stuff like that. Really cool dude too. So we're at the winery the other day, right? And I'm by myself. Everybody is gone. You're in LA. Crispy's busy. Mark is busy. I'm dolo. Sunday fun day dolo. It's a beautiful day outside. I said, man, I ain't gonna stay in. I'm going to hit the winery up Wilson Creek. I hit Wilson Creek up. I end up meeting a cool group of girls and people. We all end up vibing. On our way outside, I see this beautiful young lady in this big hat, and her and four of the ladies are standing up talking to my guy. And I actually told him I was going to tell this story, but I won't mention his name. He's like, man, Imani, I don't care. So they're talking to him, and I actually hit on the girl. I go up to her and I go, listen, I just need to know your relationship status. She just busted out laughing. That was like my opener. You know what I'm saying? She goes, oh my God, you're so funny, blah, blah, blah. She wouldn't answer the question though. She goes, well, she starts hemming and hawing. So that told me that she had someone, but she didn't want to tell me, right? The plot thickens. So I'm a hitting on her, trying to close. She goes, well, let's just hang out and have fun. What I didn't know was that she was hitting on my guy that works at Wilson Creek. I go back to Wilson Creek, like a week later, and he goes, oh man, Monty, you know the girl, the one, because I brought her up, because I was telling Crispy, like, hey, tell Crispy about this girl. He was like, oh yeah, she was good, but you know what happened, Monty? He told me, he goes, that same night, I ended up taking her to a hotel and sleeping with her.
Oh wow.
And he was like, I normally don't do that, but we just, it was just a vibe, and she was cool. But he said, what I didn't know was, he goes, dude, we're at the restaurant chilling, and a picture pops up of her and her boyfriend kissing. And it was obviously her boyfriend. And I go to him, you want to know something funny?
I don't want to hear this.
Listen, I go to him, you want to know something funny? My opener was, what's your relationship status? And she didn't want to answer it. He goes, see, there you go. And my friend that I'm talking about, he's a really stand-up guy, and he doesn't like, talking to married women or women with boyfriends and stuff. So he was kind of disappointed to see that she had a boyfriend and she did that. You know what I mean? And this is after the sex, after the hotel, everything, they're at dinner. And he's like, wow.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? So anyway, it was
I don't
just
think
funny.
that stuff's funny, guys.
It was just funny. No, when I say funny, I don't mean literally funny. What I'm really trying to say is interesting.
Right.
It was interesting. You know what I mean?
See, ladies, you guys are out there.
An interesting dating tale. And I remember we did the episode.
And her boyfriend has no idea.
Yeah, girlfriends are more faithful than wives. And this is a situation where a girlfriend wasn't faithful. You know what I'm trying to say? And again, the boyfriend had no idea. Didn't want to tell me that she was taken, obviously. You know what I mean? And then she ended up hooking up with my guy that works at the winery. And yeah, it's just interesting.
That gives me anxiety.
Yeah. Anyway.
She's a monster.
That was our dating tale for today, guys. That's our show. Don't forget to subscribe, man, and have some fun with us. Thank you for listening. Follow us on social media. We're broadcasting the truth and exposing the lies. It's Imani Shakur.
He just gave me anxiety. I'm depressed now. I'm gonna go hide under a rock.
He's depressed.
There's no hope.
Yeah, all this stuff really bothers Devon. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Poor guy.
And we out.